This video talks about how AI might and could have saved my life or definitely saved me from some serious medical issues. So, my name is Michael Randolph, and this is probably my third video on my operation. This video is going to talk about my recovery, and it's going to emphasize how AI can be your most best friend as a health advocate. What you want to see as we go through this presentation is that 85% of the information that I gathered during my search was not revealed to me during my release from hospital and the information they gave me on what to do and what don't. That's why AI can be your best health advocate. So let's start off with what I asked it first. So I asked the question I posed to it, can I start to take garlic and DLPA after my operation? Okay, here's what it responded back to me. And I would not have known had I not did, well, AI did the research. You can take garlic supplements and ALPA again, but not immediately after surgery, especially with 100% blockage repair. In my case, the plaque in my artery was like 100%. Okay, now it's going to give me a breakdown as to what the ramification will be of taking these two uh, types of supplements. As you can see, I'm a little fast through this. This gives you the overview emphasis of what's the important point I'm trying to make on how AI can really be a big plus. This tells me about garlic and the effects of garlic could have on my health condition. It focused on the fact that I should wait at least 1 to 2 weeks before starting garlic. I did not know that. DLPA is another example that because it could affect so many different things that they suggest I wait a week to 2 weeks before I should consume that. Okay, then it breaks down more information, tells about the safety plan. Now, the next question I ask it, because I take a lot of herbal teas, I say, which herbal tea can I drink? And then it breaks down. You can drink herbal tea after your surgery, but you need to choose teas that are safe for circulation, safe for blood thinners, and won't rise blood risk, especially since you had 100% blockage and a major uh, vascular procedure. I didn't understand how major the procedure was that I had. As a matter of fact, the aftercare plan and all the stuff that they gave me from the hospital, I dropped into AI earlier just to give me an understanding, and I'm gonna do another video on that, how the AI broke down in layman terms everything that was in that aftercare, everything was done during that procedure. It breaks it down to the T. Let's get back to this video. Again, didn't know how serious the operation was. Now let's go to herbal teas. It breaks down what herbal teas you can take. Now I've been taking most of these, so that was cool. And then it breaks down more importantly the ones that you cannot take until at least 2 weeks after surgery. This is serious, folks, because this information right here saved my life, or at least it could have stopped a potential health issue from arising as a result of that operation. So gives you more information. Not asking about honey. Honey is good to glue. Then the other thing, nuts and seeds I can eat. Let me tell you, a large percent of my diet consists of nuts and seeds and berries and things of that nature. Because of this diet, I have changed my health issues around 100% since 2019. No meat, no processed foods, nuts and berries, and a strict diet related to that. So anyway, I digress. Let me get back to this. So this talks about the nuts that I can eat. Again, a lot of these nuts I do eat. It breaks down the seeds that I can digest. And a lot of these seeds I do digest. But more importantly, it begins to talk about what nuts and seeds to avoid. And I do consume some of these nuts right here. Then they tell you the nuts that are good for you. And then the other thing I asked is, when can I start to walk? I was getting so many different versions of when I can walk. When I asked the nurse, she gave me one version. Then I asked another person, they gave me another version. And then I asked another one, and I still got another version. Let me tell you, folks, had I paid attention to at least two of those versions, I'd be back in the hospital now. But so I posed a question to AI, and here's what AI came back. Because I tell AI, I normally walk an hour per day. Now, here's what they say. You can absolutely get back to 1 hour, a 1 hour walk with 100% blockage. So I can. But here's what it's saying. I have to take my time in doing so. And it gives me a breakdown plan. Look at this. As to what that plan should look like in terms of my walking. Had I not gotten this information, because I was supposed to I was supposed to start walking an hour a day by at least one of the advices I was given at the hospital. Lord knows what would have happened if I'd started right back. Anyway, I'm trying to emphasize how important it is to use AI. And then I asked, well, what about my Hennessy? I do my Hennessy once in the blue moon. And they say, no way. Mm-mm. No Hennessy, buddy. No Hennessy. And then it gets deep down about, drinking and alcohol and all that. Okay, then I went back to DLPA, and then it repeats itself. But the thing I'm trying to emphasize is that this AI saved my life, or at least it put me in a situation where I wouldn't be rushed back into the hospital. Again, not only did it help me with this information, but when I received all of my doctor's reports, I dropped them in AI, and I'm going to share that video at another point. And it gave me a clear explanation as to everything that was being talked about. Even when I dropped in my blood result, it gave me a breakdown of the negative and the positive. It did all of that. And including digesting that information from the doctor, or the post surgery operation documents you get when you leave the hospital. So all of those files that they send me, I dropped into AI, and AI gave me a better understanding, a clearer understanding, and a more in-depth understanding. So as you know, I love AI. So not only can AI be used in terms of being very productive and building wealth, but also in terms of creating and increasing health, your health enhancement.